Shalom, everyone, and welcome to today's scripture with Ayaba. And today's scripture is Philippians chapter 3, verses 13 through 15, and it reads as follows. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahuwah in Yahusha HaMashiach. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded. And if in anything ye be otherwise minded, Yahuwah shall reveal even this unto you. Forgetting those things which are behind. As we continue on in our time of prayer and fasting, today is our 14th day during our Daniel fast. You know, there are some things that the Most High Yah has been revealing to me personally that I need to leave behind, that I need to forget about, that I need to forget about participating in, that I need to forget about doing anymore, things that I need to stop looking at. Might be movies, it may be television shows, certain things that I need to stop reading, certain places that I need to stop going to, certain things that I need to stop listening to. These are the things that I need to leave behind and forget about them, because if I'm going to press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling in Yahusha HaMashiach, I'm going to have to forget about some things. I'm going to have to leave some things behind. I'm going to have to turn away from some things. And this is what Yahuwah has been showing me as I have continued to go through this time of prayer and fasting. That if I'm going to live a set-apart life, if I'm going to be the one who is going to be that light for somebody else who is watching my life, if I'm going to be the one that's going to be, standing before the Most High Yah in prayer, standing in the gap for those who don't have a relationship with Him through His Son, Yahusha HaMashiach, I'm going to have to forget about some things. I'm going to have to leave some things behind if I'm going to really press, for the prize of the high calling. And, when you dedicate yourself to a time of prayer and fasting, and intercession for others, you're going to have to forget about doing some things. You're going to have to put some things aside. Some of those things you're putting aside just temporarily because you're praying and you're fasting. But some things we're being told, like I've been told personally, and maybe this is happening with you as well, the Most High Yah is showing you some things that you need to forget about. That you need to leave behind before you can start moving forward in Him. And you'll find those things out as you continue to develop your prayer life, as you continue to move forward in Him. And this is so very, very important, because a lot of times we get stuck. We get stuck in our relationship with the Most High Yah, and we feel stagnant. And you may be saying, I don't know how to pray. I can't focus. I can't concentrate. I'm distracted all of the time. And it's because you're not forgetting about some things, okay? You have too many things that you're trying to hold on to. There's too many things that have captured your mind and captured your eye and captured your ear, and you're not forgetting about them, okay? So you can't reach forward into your future is as it relates to your relationship with the Most High Yah and what He is calling you to do. And even what He's calling you to do in the area of prayer. If you're not forgetting about some things and leaving them behind. So this is very, very important as we continue on during this time of prayer and fasting. And I want to remind all of you that, even after this time of fasting during this Daniel fast, the prayer must continue. And the things that the Most High Yah is showing you as you continue to pray, as you continue to develop your prayer muscles, so to speak, okay? You need to really be obedient to what He is telling you to do. You really need to be obedient to what He's telling you to forget about. Okay? Because if your growth in your relationship with the Most High Yah is really, truly important to you, you'll start leaving some things behind. You'll start forgetting about some things, and you'll have the mindset that, hey, I want to go further in Yahushua HaMashiach. I want to be closer to Him. I want to draw nigh unto Him so that He can draw nigh unto me. I want to see the promises of Scripture come to pass in my life. I want to see Yahushua work in my life. I want to see Yahuwah work in my life. I want to see Yahuwah work in my marriage. I want to see Yahuwah, work some things out in my family, with my children, in my relationships. But the only way that you're going to see that happen is if you forget about some things. And there's so many things in our lives that we are doing that we're not forgetting about, that we're not leaving behind, that quite frankly do not please the Most High Yah. They're a sin against Him and His commandments. And we're so attached to them. Those things have gotten us like this, and we need to let them go. We need to forget about them. Okay? You think about that as you continue on in this time of prayer and fasting. Remember, we're praying for our family members, our friends, our co-workers, our neighbors, our business associates who are still blind and deaf to the knowledge of the truth. And they need to come into the saving knowledge of Yahushua HaMashiach and come into a relationship with the Most High Yah and turn away from a life of sin and wickedness and iniquity. And we also need to continue to be praying for the protection and the deliverance of the people of the Most High Yah. But we can't do that effectively if we're too busy holding on to the things that we need to forget about and leave behind. Okay? And that's part of our issue in our prayer lives a lot of time, is that we are so caught up in things that do not matter. We are so caught up in things that are not beneficial to our spiritual growth in Yah, that we can't move forward in Him. And this is so very, very important. This is so very important in these last days. We need to tighten it up spiritually. Okay? We need to get our spiritual houses in order. We need to be in a state of preparedness, where we're preparing and we're getting ready. We need to get our spiritual and our natural houses in order, because these are the last and evil days. Time is winding up. It's 11:59, people, and we need to make sure that we're forgetting about those things that don't matter. We need to be getting ready for eternity. Eternity is a lot longer than the time that we are living on the earth as we are living right now. And so, this is our time when we need to start prepping for the kingdom of Yah. Now is the time. Now is the time for us to get ourselves together. Okay? So just take the time to think about that today. Think about whatever is going on in your life. You know, the Most High Yah may have already shown you some things. He's already shown you some things. He's already told you some things, and you may have been kind of reluctant to, you know, put those things aside or turn away from those things or stop looking at some things, stop reading some things, stop going some places, stop doing some things. And you've still been kind of holding on to them because of whatever reason you may have, whatever reason you're still attached. But you can't, you know, move forward, you know, for the prize of the high calling, you know, in Yahushua HaMashiach, if you're not forgetting about some things and leaving some things behind that the Most High Yah is telling you to forget about and leave behind. So pray about this passage of scripture and ask the Most High Yah to show you what he wants you to forget about and what he wants you to leave behind today. And then ask him for the courage and the power and the strength that you need to be obedient to what he is, you know, calling you to do and telling you to do today. Like I said, today is day 14 of our Daniel fast. I just want to say thank you to the Most High Yah for each and every one of you who are praying and fasting along with me, and so many others who are also dedicating themselves to prayer and fasting during this time. It is so needed amongst the people of Yah. Keep it up. I encourage you to keep it up. Keep on praying. Keep on fasting. You know, this is the time of the Daniel fast. We are 14 days into a 21-day partial Daniel fast. And this is when, I know for me personally, this is when my body starts to settle into the fast, you know, whatever withdrawal symptoms that I may have felt, which are a lot less now than when I first started doing this fast back in 2012. When I used to when I first started doing the fast, it was rough. It was rough and it was tough because I had never done it before. But now, you know, it's a lot easier for me to flow into the fast. I know how to prepare for it, you know, spiritually and mentally and emotionally and even physically, how to prepare to go into this type of fast. But I know for people who are doing it for the very first time, it can really be rough. And it can really be tough for you mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And so I just want to say congratulations if you have stuck with it all 14 days. You know, praise Abba Yah for your, you know, faithfulness to him. It's not to me, it's unto him. Remember, we're doing this as unto him. And I pray that you are reaping the spiritual blessings, the physical blessings, the mental blessings, the emotional blessings that come from a time of prayer and fasting and really focusing on the Most High Yah. You know, for those of you who are like, man, I'm trying to make it. It's 7 more days left, you know, but I want to encourage you to, you know, any new positive, you know, eating habits and developments that you've had in your prayer life, hold on to that and continue to practice them in your life. You know, incorporate them into your lifestyle. You know, don't throw it aside. Because one thing about spiritual as well as natural growth, when we throw things aside that are really good and positive that we have grown and developed in, and we throw it aside and we go back to what we were doing, you know, it takes away from the growth that we developed in. So it's very, very important that whatever amount of growth, positive growth that you are experiencing during this time of our prayer and fasting, hold on to that growth and continue to walk in it. Continue to live it out, continue to walk it out, continue to practice it. Anything that you have learned, from the Most High Yah through the Ruach HaKodesh, His set apart spirit, continue to walk that out in your life. This is how you grow. Okay? This is how you grow. And this is how you learn how to be consistent and balanced and keep from having this up and down, yo-yo type of life. I know that I have experienced that so much in my life, and it gets on your nerves, when it seems like you're sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes level to the ground, and you're like, what in the world is going on in my life? And that's because you're not being consistent in the things that you're supposed to be doing as unto Yah. Okay? And there's things that you're supposed to leave behind and forget about and keep on pressing towards the mark of the prize of the high calling. Okay? So there's some things that you're supposed to leave behind. Leave them behind. Forget about them for good. And keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep on walking forward in the Most High Yah. So I just wanted to encourage you with that today. If you've been going through some things, even as maybe you've been going through some spiritual attacks, as you have been going through this time of prayer and fasting, and that happens sometimes as well when you try to really, turn your eyes and your heart and your mind and your focus towards the Most High Yah. The enemy will try to come in and attack you. He'll try to distract you. He'll try to, pull you away from your focus on the Most High Yah. When he tries to come in like a flood, you continue to submit yourself, therefore, unto Yah. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh unto Yah, and he will draw nigh unto you. Okay? So, I speak life to each and every one of you. Health, healing, wholeness, protection, Yah's mercy. I pray that the Most High Yah will continue to give you clarity of vision, clarity of focus. I pray that you will receive an uncluttering of your mind from the cares of this world and the cares of this life. I pray that you will continue to grow in your relationship with the Most High Yah. And I pray that you will continue to receive His peace that passes all understanding and His joy as you spend time in His presence. And I pray that the fruit of the Ruach HaKodesh, His set-apart spirit, rests, rules, and abides in your life today in abundance and in great measure. And with that, I will leave you with Shalom.